Yeah, my name is Heun. I'm a consultant psychiatrist, and I would like to inform you about the third Congress of the Global Psychiatric Association, starting on Friday, the 10th of November, and it goes from 11 to 7 p.m. And first one is at 1 o'clock, starting with Daria Smirnova, a professor from Russia, who is an expert in the language of mental health problems. She previously talked about schizophrenia, and this time we'll talk about the language of depression. How is it spoken and why it's important to listen? This is then followed by Roy Kalivayali from India, who talks about the access to mental health care, challenges and perspective from low and middle income countries. Then I have the pleasure to introduce Norman Sartorius, professor from Geneva, Switzerland. He talks about community care facing the challenge of the 21st century. He has been involved in the WHO as well as in the World Psychiatric Association. He's a very entertaining presenter. And then it will be Christopher Paul Sabo, who is from South Africa. He has taken the challenge to be a podcaster, and he will talk about psychiatrists as a podcaster, a personal reflection. And Professor Hans Grabe, who talks from 5 to 6-ish, is talking about long-term consequences of traumatization. He has done long follow-up studies, or several long follow-up studies of young people in northern Germany. João Mauricio Castelo Maia from Brazil will talk about geopsychiatry and the Cape Vulnerability Index, and Christian Schütz from Canada about the new developments in psychedelic treatment. On the second day, Saturday, the 11th of November, the Congress will be started by Sujita Kar from India, Early Augmentation in Psychiatric Disorder, Relevance, Scope and Challenges. So this will be a very practical and useful approach. The next one will be Professor David Ndee from Kenya, who works with the WHO, and he is talking about towards reduction of treatment gap in mental health in low and middle income countries using already available resources. And he talks about the Kenyan experience. Going back to Europe, we will have Professor Dragana Ristic. Are we still resilient? Effects of COVID-19 on health workers over 3 years. That's a follow-up studies, and I'm looking forward to that. The next one is Florian Riese, an expert in old age psychiatry, and he will talk about palliative psychiatry. So I'm looking forward to this as well. Very exciting studies, and he published very interesting papers in our journal Global Psychiatry Archives. The next one is Matej Stuek from Slovenia. He's a clinical psychopharmacologist, and he talks about clinical pharmacist and mental health evidence in practical cases. Next one is Professor Michelle Rieber from Michigan, the USA, and she talks about depression, burnout, and the heart. She has been very much involved in the American Psychiatric Association and the World Psychiatric Association. So 7 to 8 o'clock, there will be Professor Julio Torales from Paraguay talking about very important case of climate change, psychiatry, and mental health. And last but not least, we will have the journalist Jay Eisler from Toronto and the USA talking about MAD studies. So I hope you will join us. We will charge a ridiculously low amount of £40 for people from all over the world. You get an awful lot of CPD, and we can also give you a certificate on that. And for people from low and middle income countries, we reduce the fees to £20. Thanks a lot for your interest, and I hope I can see you and join our Zoom discussion. Thanks a lot, and have a nice day and weekend. Thank you.